And Patriots.
Ain't come to play games, I just want to play my part.
We've got basketball action
Mariano.
at the AT&T Center. We're in
Mari.
San Antonio, Texas, the home of the Spurs, live on 2K Sports. Welcome to 2K Sports, bringing you the NBA.
Go upstairs. Go upstairs, dummy.
Does that work, bro?
I really
This
that
is Kevin Harlan to call the game. With our analysts Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony.
That's a fact.
We'll take a look at the Warriors. A great start of the season for them, playing very well so far.
This is one of those games when you look at your calendar, it's
Yeah,
certain
Zach. He can
before the schedule
beat
even
us. Six
released.
swag
So
game.
it's one of the best rivalries we have in our league. And guys, this is the one you do not want to miss.
No doubt about it, because it seems like these two teams always have a reason to be angry at each other, a little chippy at the very least, and that brings out the best basketball in both of them.
And now the Golden State Warriors starters. It's the Splash Brothers, Curry and Thompson at the guard spots. Green at the 4 with Bogut at the 5.
I get on that black eye.
And it's Rush in at the 3, the small forward. Another miss by Curry. You can point to any number of things, Clark. The Warriors did well last year. Their play on the road being one of them.
Well, the Warriors were exactly road warriors all season long, partner. Hit the ground running and finished with the league best 28 road wins.
First quarter, just over a minute played. Aldridge dishes to Green. Back to Aldridge. Parker with it. And Curry picks him up defensively. And that one's good. Parker. Parker's got his first bucket in this one.
And for the Warriors, they would go on several road trips undefeated last season. Still, the only time they looked vulnerable were games on the road.
Wow.
Aldridge, the pass to Parker.
That's racist.
And there's Green on the assist by Parker.
And you can sense the momentum really starting to swing their way.
Yeah, they're taking charge here. I mean, there's no question about it, Greg. And the lead, I think, is just going to continue to grow and grow from here. And, you know, with the Warriors on the road, they would occasionally dig a hole they couldn't get out of. Still, hard to critique a team that was so dominant in every facet of the game last season, even on the road.
Bogut kicks to Rush. Green with the ball. Guarded now by Duncan. Green, no luck.
That's now 4 misses on their first 5 attempts. Still trying to find the rhythm and flow here offensively.
Kicks it out to Leonard. They grab their own miss. Lets it go with the 3. Green, no luck. Last game for the Spurs. They want to turn it around after the loss to the Bulls in Chicago.
And it wasn't just about the bad shooting. It was really more so about the bad offense. They just didn't execute well. The screens weren't there. The spacing was poor, and thusly the defeat.
Well, you've laid out a couple of the details that lead to good offense, or bad if you don't execute them. Shooting is just a byproduct of not screening well and not moving the ball or players well. They didn't execute anything on the offensive end.
So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. West is checked in for Duncan. DL comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge.
They don't use the Warriors
Ginobili's checked in
all the
for
time.
Daniel Green. And it's Mills in for Tony Parker.
Wall,
Butler
Not really.
is checked in for Kawhi
It's always
Leonard.
been like that.
Picked by West. Ginobili, that's for 2. They get it again.
And honestly, not real
They don't
happy
know how to
with the
play.
shot selection on that one.
Yeah, clearly a brain fade there. He's got to be a little smarter in his choice making.
And I like how he puts himself in position there to finish on the break.
You know how to play defense.
Yeah, you know, that's what we call seeing and feeling the game. Excellent read of how that play was going to develop and where the ball was going. That's stuff that you oftentimes can't teach, Greg.
Here's Ezeli. A look at his stats. He averages a bit over 8 points a game.
The Warriors go online.
You know, you take a look at this group of Spurs and you wonder if they've peaked. I mean, it seems you say that a lot with this team, and they prove you wrong. What Popovich said last year, it might actually be the case.
Warriors trail by 6. And out of bounds as the Spurs gain possession.
Boy, did they ever make a mess out of that one. A terrible turnover.
1:05 left to play in the first quarter. Mills can't hit.
Rebounding is going to be the focal point for them in this one, fellas. I can feel it.
It always is, and it has been so far, and they've gotten a nice edge on the glass.
Whip.
You know, sometimes you don't like to see guys pull up from three-point range on the break, but for him, with nobody on him, that's a pretty good shot.
And the Warriors decide to take their first time out here. And this game, the first chance they've had to see the San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah, and they're hoping for a better showing against this club this season. Last year, they came out on the losing end.
And, you know, with two teams in the upper pyramid in the early going, important to establish that pecking order, especially within your conference. So this game is important.
And the Warriors with a completely new 5 on the floor. Thompson dishes to Curry. Thompson passes to Curry. 6 to shoot. Fires for 3. Bogut kicks to Thompson. Shot and game clock separated by 5. Here's Curry. Scores for only the second time tonight. Now 2 for 6 from the field.
You know, his ability is matched only by his energy, guys. I mean, he's usually in the middle of everything for his team.
To the right side. Mills can't hit.
Outstanding perimeter defense there. That was a well-contested shot.
Yeah, and you know he takes a lot of pride. Yeah, and you know, they've also done a good job, Greg, on their end of the floor by not throwing the ball away.
Inside, Thompson dishes to Curry. He kicks to Green. Shot clock at 6. Shoots it. Curry can't get it to go.
Well, I think the defense got lucky right there. I mean, he's going to make a lot more of those than he misses when he's got that much room.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. On the court right now for the Spurs. Parker and Green are the guard pairing. Duncan out there with LaMarcus Aldridge. And it's Leonard in at the small forward. Here's Thompson. Misses off the right iron. Spurs leading by 7. Leonard the pass to Aldridge. Baseline try. That's in for the first basket of the game after 3 attempts.
Just a major size difference between the defender and shooter on that possession.
And Greg, without a hand in his face, he's simply going to spray whoever's there.
And the Spurs last season became the first franchise to hire a female assistant coach. A big step, not just for the Spurs, but really for all of the NBA.
It's Curry outside. And again, no good by Golden State.
I'm not sure why he keeps trying his luck from deep here. It's just not his night.
And it's good.
You know, there's no better sign of how efficiently a team is operating than their assist numbers. And theirs are fantastic.
Just beautiful when they play the game like this.
Now a timeout called by Golden State. As Greg was just talking about, the assistant that was. Candidate to become the first full-time female assistant.
Yeah, I agree with you. And it might not seem like that big a deal to some, but this was a big-time barrier breaker that the Spurs pulled off.
Jason Thompson, he's checked in for the Warriors. Curry outside. No good. Excellent D there from Parker.
He's been anything but his usual self this quarter. It's actually been ugly to see.
From deep, Green. That's good. Green's got his third basket of the night. Shot to stop the run. That one's good. The San Antonio lead is cut down now to just 11 on the basket from Stephen Curry. Aldridge drives in. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line.
And guys, one thing that we were treated with last year was Steve Kerr's great quotability in post-game interviews and pressers. He said all the right things and deflected praise like a coach who had done it for many years.
The Spurs making a switch here. Anderson's checked in. Another miss by Curry.
Not really his best quarter as far as scoring. Let's see if he can eventually get back on track.
And here's Anderson for three. Good, and Aldridge gets the assist. Anderson's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. And Kerr is so good with the media because, Greg, he was a media member himself for so long. You know that as well as anybody. Clark, I don't think he ever tried his hand at broadcasting, though. I can't see him doing that, could you?
Yeah, right,
No.
Right. He probably just thrown on as a broadcaster and would rarely contribute anything of note. Some guys have what it takes to call games, and Steve just doesn't quite scratch me as that kind of guy.
No. And Thompson kicks to Green. Lets it go with a three. It's Curry. That time on the assist from Green.
Boy, I tell you what, he loves getting looks like that from the three-point line. No one near him. That's a warm-up jumper for him.
Oh, you've got to be able to deliver when you get a bunny like that. That's just too easy of a shot to miss.
Oh, my God.
And, fellas, in this quarter, he's improved on what was already a very good performance in period number one.
It's stolen by Green. And Thompson kicks to Curry. And he takes it in for the layup off a very nice feed. Curry's got 15 points.
Great quarter for him at the offensive end, trying to will his team back in the game.
Aldridge. Oh, yes, the turnaround. And the Spurs lead by 9.
Got him with the turnaround there. That was as sweet as honey.
Thompson misses.
And if they know what's good for him, that's the way they'll defend against him every time he takes the ball into three-point territory.
And you're right there, Clark, because anything less than lockdown defense on him is going to result in a triple.
And out of bounds as San Antonio gains possession.
Not a fan of those kinds of passes.
So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. David West, he's checked in for Duncan. Diaw comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge. Manu Ginobili, he's checked in for Daniel Green. And it's Mills in for Parker. Some nice passing by Golden State here. Shot clock and game clock separated by less than 6 seconds.
Yeah, I love the communication and the chemistry between those teammates.
Oh, and the jam by Butler.
How about that? Breaking out the Statue of Liberty on that dunk.
A nice way to pad that lead a little more.
Yes, indeed.
Barbosa kicks to Ezeli. Rush from outside. Can't hit. Spurs lead by 12. We'll see you after halftime for the beginning of the third quarter. And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but you know, anything can happen. One guy who's been getting it done so far, Stephen Curry.
And in terms of points in that first half, you know, he's now at a point where we expect him to perform that way.
And, Greg, that tells you all you need to know about what a talent he is. I mean, I'll bet he adds a lot more to his totals after the break.
And as we begin the second half, first half wasn't even close, guys, and we'll see if there is a comeback on our hands or more of the same as we get the third quarter started. One guy who's been getting it done so far, Stephen Curry.
Boy, did he put on a show from beyond in that first half. Let's see if the halftime break has any cooling effect on him.
Well, I tell you what, we'll soon find out, because I guarantee they're going to keep feeding it to him behind the arc until he does cool off.
So for the Golden State Warriors right now, the defensive stalwarts, Green and Bogut, are down low. Curry is out there with Barbosa, and it's Rush in at the 3 spot.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
You know, the defense, Greg, has really been kept off balance because of the outstanding passes. 4 straight field goals have been made off an assist.
Fires the 3. Shot is good, and the Spurs lead is get back down to 8 points. They needed that one from Curry. The drive by Green. It's blocked. And it's out of bounds to the Spurs as San Antonio retains possession. And if you're just joining us, we played over a minute here in the third. There's the triple. That's good, and so Duncan with the assist. Green's got a pair of 3s now here in the third for the Spurs.
You cannot leave him alone like that, especially from long range.
Timeout called the Warriors. They put up a nice win against Utah last time out.
Yeah, the confidence just exuding in that performance on the offensive end. I mean, really illustrates how this team clicks when guys are communicating and executing as a cohesive unit.
Yeah, roadkill is hard to get in this league. I mean, to be a great NBA team, you've got to be able to have that kind of performance on the road. Focused, purposeful, and productive. Really solid.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Andrew Bogut. That's his first foul.
And in the past, the NBA had the All-Star break for just an extended weekend. Last year, they gave the players a full week off. It seemed to be received positively by everyone.
Catching up on the changes for Golden State, Andre Iguodala is checked in for Rush. And it's Klay Thompson in for Leandro Barbosa. The Warriors making a switch here. Speights is checked in. Iguodala dishes to Green. The kick out to Speights. Thompson with it. Now Green defending. It's stolen by Green. Leonard attacking. Misses from short range. The All-Star break in 2015 was just a bit over a week. Those extra days, Clark, for most players, really rested some guys up.
Yeah, I agree, man. I think it was a nice move. You play those 82 games, you need more than just a few days break during the middle part of the season. So I like that move a lot.
And that one is stuffed right through.
And a few more points tacked on to their lead in the cruelest way possible.
You're right. Yeah, those putback jams sting, don't they? My goodness.
Yeah, they really hurt you. I mean, the defense forces a miss and then can't rebound it and finish off the defense. They're hanging their heads in their chest now.
And Aldridge slams it in.
Ooh, that's as forceful a finish as you're ever going to see out of this guy.
Well, gee, it adds now. to their lead in spectacular fashion.
And, you know, that lead's only going to grow if they're not prepared to defend a little more staunchly than that.
Warriors trailed by 12. Parker with the steal. And the Spurs pushing it up now. Here's Leonard. And the rebound goes to the Warriors.
If he can improve on what's been a shaky day for him thus far, they could stretch this lead out.
Not fazed at all by having a bigger defender on him down low, and I really thought he would be.
You know, at first glance, you wouldn't think that he'd be comfortable in that particular situation, but, boy, I tell you what, he didn't look like he was out of his element at all right there.
And Duncan gets it to go in.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Well, I agree with you. 4 of their last 5 baskets have been exactly of that variety.
Kyle Anderson, he's checked in for the Spurs. Ezeli's checked in for the Warriors. Livingston comes in for Steph Curry.
Well, with the season the Warriors put together, they came out way ahead of everybody else in the West. I mean, given how tough the West was last year, that makes their 67-win season all the more impressive. One of the best in history in my mind.
Looking at who's out there now for the Spurs. David West, he's checked in for Aldridge. Diaw comes in for Leonard. Manu Ginobili's checked in for Daniel Green. And it's Mills in for Parker. Brandon Rush, he's checked in for Andre Iguodala. Warriors took apart the West last season. They went 42-10 against the rest of the conference. The games between them and second place in the West were the same as the games between second place and 8th in the West.
And the Warriors didn't just pick on the little guys. I mean, they had big wins over the top teams in the West. Against the rest of the playoff teams, the Warriors were a whopping 20-5.
Ginobili with the 3. That's good. Ginobili's got his second bucket of the night.
A lot of space right there to get that shot off.
Not a very good job of the defender getting over the top of that screen in that particular play.
The Spurs making a switch here. Butler's checked in. And then for Golden State, Bogut comes in for Maurice Spates. And it's Barbosa in for Thompson.
What are they thinking leaving him with all that space out there? Do they not know? Have they not heard that this guy is unbelievable? That's a layup for him.
For 3, Barbosa. And that one's good. Barbosa's got 5 points so far.
Well, the first thought from the D there was to protect the rim, so good idea to take the 3 in transition.
Butler. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. For San Antonio, they have gone 4 for 5 from the charity stripe in this one up to now. He hits the second from the line. Here is Livingston. And it would have counted had it fallen, but it's offline. And here at the end of the third. And we're rolling here again with the fourth quarter. Might not come down to the wire, but you never know.
And one thing that everybody loves about Coach Pop is his frankness. You get a taste of it in interviews, but he's as honest and straightforward with you as he is with anybody else.
Mills and Manu at the guards. Rasul Butler is out there with Boris Diaw. And it's West in at the center. That's the San Antonio 5. Ginobili can't hit. Warriors trailed by 16. Green passes to Curry. Thompson for the triple. No good. Now San Antonio takes it the other way. Ginobili kicks to Mills. Rush with the steal. And now Curry running the floor.
That athletic ability
Yeah.
there. And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal. And then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
That indicates the importance of great on-the-ball defense, as was displayed right there. D with very little pressure on their perimeter shooters. 3 of the last 5 baskets they've allowed have been of the three-point variety.
And you need the defense to stop the bleeding.
Now a timeout called by Golden State.
They've been committing a lot of turnovers, and I imagine that's exactly what they're talking about right now. They need to tighten it up.
So both teams making some changes here. Warriors trail by 17. Livingston dishes to Barbosa. And stolen by Aldridge. And Parker, here we go. Here's Marjanovic. And he finishes.
And the second chance becomes a dunk. We could feel over here.
GA, such a good, aggressive play in the paint.
Guys, it's all about persistence on the offensive glass. You just can't ever give up on a play.
To the inside. Here's Barbosa. A good finish at the rack off the slick feed. Barbosa's got 4 points now in the quarter.
They're forcing the ball inside, and it's working beautiful.
It really is. 5 out of 6 of their last field goals have come from the paint.
Warriors trail by 15. Out to the right wing. Golden State moving it around. Stolen by Ginobili. And there's the pass to Parker. Iguodala with the steal. And he stuffs it. What a pass to set him up.
I like the fact that he led his teammate right to the ideal spots. You don't always throw it to your teammate. You throw it to where he needs to be.
And he is the ultimate when it comes to being a floor leader on the offensive end.
Yeah, you know, he's got a little bit of Greg Anthony in him. And he has been that leader today. I think he's done a really nice job of moving the ball and distributing it the way it needs to be done.
Well, Clark, I'm glad you referenced very specifically why you thought he had a little Greg Anthony. I thought you were talking about the knees, my man. he looked a little hobbled out there for a moment.
Flying high and throwing down the hard one-hander.
One of his favorite moves right there, guys.
And really, he does that one as well as anyone. Kev, you're right. That's like his signature move once he goes airborne.
Well, the Spurs, Greg, great at home last year. That's not surprising to anyone who's paid attention. We expect that they're just so tough at home, year in and year out.
And Kevin, how about going 33-8?
Bet you can't win like we
last
hit the folks like
and despite being a 6th seed, only the Hawks and Warriors, the 2 best records in the league, won more games at home. Hard to imagine you could be a 6th seed with that kind of success.
Duncan, he's checked in for San Antonio. Green comes in for Manu Ginobili. And then for Golden State, Andrew Bogut. He's checked in for Ezeli. Draymond Green comes in for Thompson. And Curry subbed in for Sean Livingston.
For the Spurs, it was all about being at home. That was a big part of how they went on the run. They won 20 of the last 22 games at home in that stretch, which vaulted them from the bottom of the playoff picture in the West to as high as the 2 seed.
Green, no luck. Warriors trail by 17. Barbosa kicks to Iguodala. Curry passes to Barbosa. It's stolen by Duncan. Here's Leonard. The finish. A huge slam. The perfect end of the fast break.
Just no let up, guys. They just keep coming at you.
Well, this lead is too big to overcome. I'm going out on the limb right now. There's just not enough time left on the clock to make up the ground they have to make up. Solid work on the back end of that play.
Yeah, finish hard with 2 hands on the stuff.
Yeah, nothing extravagant, guys, but again, no need on that one. And this is what they wanted. I mean, to announce their presence in this matchup with authority, very decisive. It can definitely be considered a statement win for the Spurs.
A few times this season, turnovers have cost them, but Clark, they really kept the ball under control.
I thought they were both focused and relentless, Kevin.
And so this will mark the 15th win of the year for them.
And what a huge standout performance it was for Green. Every time there was a big possession or a big play, he was a major contributor. Just a great all-around game.
2-time. Hit us at 2-time.
Well, we all know how loud him.
He's out of there.
Pittsburgh Patriots all day.